by the clock, all right? Step back.
You step back. You step back. You step back. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Today's video is a clip captured by Tony Vera's channel. In this video, a guy by the name of Richie Sergenko is in a verbal altercation with the police and ends up running them off of Venice Beach.
Yeah, that's my thought. Get the fuck in the car, tough guy. Ha 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 ha.
By the clock, all right? Step back.
You step back. You step back. You step back. You move. You move. You move. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. Come to the face, bro. What's up? Don't spin my face. Don't spin my face. Don't spin my face. PD shot and killed someone. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out. Talking all that shit, tough guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Good job, guys.
I will. Thank you.
Hey, LAPD shot and killed someone 2 days ago. How do you feel about that in Hollywood?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? You don't know about your own department shooting someone? They shot a bystander at McDonald's, you dumb fuck.
Now, as enjoyable as it is to see these officers get run off, I don't advise anyone who's interested in doing an audit or cop watch to do this. This was just one interaction, and every interaction is different. Every officer is different, and every auditor is different. I'm all for freedom of speech, and this behavior is actually legal. Houston versus Hill shows us that arresting someone for verbal abuse or criticisms of the police is unconstitutional and a criminalization of protected speech. Raising your voice might win you an argument, but the goal of interacting with the police in this manner during an audit isn't to win an argument. It is to plant a seed in that officer's mind so that he might go home and think on it and eventually educate himself so that our communities are better protected. I can't speak for everyone, but as an auditor, it is my job to not further their bleak narrative that I am their enemy. I'm not their enemy nor their friend. I'm simply there to bring transparency and accountability. I'm not going to judge Richie on how he interacts with the police. It's not my job to judge him, and no one pays me for it. If I'm being honest, I can support Richie in what he's doing. He's using his freedom of speech, but I can also advise people not to follow in his actions. Don't do it that way. Do it your way. Don't get it twisted. Changing the current state of policing is the goal. Education is the key to help us accomplish that goal. This channel I'm about to show you is about to change the game for everyone looking to make a difference. If you want to educate yourself on your rights and the history of policing in this country, go subscribe to Delete Laws and obtain all the knowledge that he has to offer you on his channel. I'm going to show you a little clip from yesterday. We went to go meet Delete Laws, and he educated us on Terry versus Ohio and how much damage it has done to this country and why we should overturn Terry. And let me know how you would interact with police. Would you go the aggressive route, or would you go the more educated route?
The first Ninth Amendment is we have rights that are unenumerated. In other words, we have a right to select the people who are in charge of our right to life. And that's not happening right now. And that's why we have no rights. I made the video this morning. I said the last 3 videos I've seen, a couple of them were yours, I believe, but the last 3 videos I've seen, people were arrested for filming the police, for crossing the street, and for holding a sign. Taken to a dungeon. Taken to a fucking dungeon. And now I gotta bail out. Who won? Who won? I don't like cops. I'm on the record. I have no respect, right? If the cop walks up to me and I tell him, go pound sand, I can turn you inside out, you turkey. If he puts cuffs on me and takes me to jail, who wins? He does. He doesn't have to drop the badge and gun and take me on man to man. He gets to put cuffs on me and uses guns and tasers and sticks and take me to a dungeon. Who won? He did. What's my recourse? Probably 0. Unless I want to spend all the money I've spent here to teach you guys to fight my own court case, then I lost. I lost the money, I lost my time, I went to a dungeon. You know, handcuffs are torture cuffs. They're just straight up torture cuffs. And you know, let's talk a little bit about checks and balances. I'll bring them over because it might get a little blowed out over here. So look, these are 3 buildings. These are 3 different buildings. This represents police. You see that? This is the police building. This represents checks and balances on police. And this represents checks and balances on district attorneys and also has to get the warrants for the cops. So these are the 3 Enlightenment thinkers of our founding of our country. That's Jean-Jacques Rousseau, This is Montesquieu, and this is John Locke, the founder of natural law. These ideas that I'm espousing about checks and balances don't belong to me. I told you I graduated last in my class. I'm not that smart. It doesn't matter if I'm smart. I read the Enlightenment thinkers of the 17th century. And they say they wrote a book called Checks and Balances. Our country was founded on the principle of liberty, that you're free. How come there's no prison? How come there's really no prison system until Terry v. Ohio? Take a look. Why is there no prison system until Terry versus Ohio? Because Terry v. Ohio is a construct of institutional racism.
So they only used to use jails?
That's right. There was no prison system.
Really?
We didn't see the first prison system until Prohibition in 1920 and 1933. We had under 100,000 people in prison in 1920. How come it goes from about 60,000 people in prison to over 200,000 people by the end of Prohibition? Because we criminalized the chemical. Who saw that happen? Harry Anslinger. So what does he do as soon as this happened? He starts the Federal Narcotics Agency right there. You see? And now, what has he done? He's locked up millions of people long after his death. Harry Anslinger, born in 1896, the same year as Plessy versus Ferguson, he instituted international, long-term prison state, police state out of criminalizing marijuana. And he did it for the kings of industry. William Randolph Hearst, Lamont DuPont, Andrew Mellon, Andrew Carnegie, and Rockefeller, John Rockefeller. So what I'm suggesting is that we put checks and balances on police, just like the book by Montesquieu. Why in the world do we have body cam footage that we give to police? How come what we pay for it?
No shit.
And then you gotta pay again for a FOIA. We already paid for the footage. We're already funding that. And then you give the police money to enrich the policing agency. Why in the world did we ever give police the body cam footage? This is a fair question. They've proven time and time again they cannot police themselves. This agency, the Montesquieu agency, now gets all the body cam footage. And this agency puts on-site auditors for every single police stop. Anytime a cop interacts with someone, there will be a tax-funded auditor filming them. Because the flip side of that is death and prison. And that's what we're living in. Because we don't have any checks and balances on police. The number one principle of America is liberty. And where's the checks and balances on the person in charge of your liberty, the cops? There's zero. And if you do have to get arrested and go to a dungeon, then what are your repercussions? You have to file a civil rights lawsuit? Stop your whole life? That guy gets paid to go to court. John Locke, the founder of natural law, said that show me the character of a man and I'll show you how much education he has. So instead of putting you in education, if you get arrested, you go to prison, what do? We make you a slave. So when you get out, what's the likelihood you're going to go back? Almost 100%.